everybody, welcome back to the Drummission here. Alright, we're going to do something a little bit different today. I'm going to spend just a minute talking to you, tell you what I'm going to do. About 3-4 weeks ago, I purchased the 50th anniversary edition of All Things Must Pass, that great George Harrison album that came out, I think it's 71, 72, maybe, I'm not sure. I had it way back then when I was a kid. Who knows where that is now? I rebought this, and I want to do, I guess we can call it an unboxing and a review. We're gonna go through it, go through the album, but it's not really out of a bigger box. It comes in a box, so we're gonna go through it a little bit and talk about it. I have not been totally pleased with all the Beatle remaster stuff. This is technically, just one Beatle, but I'm very pleased with this one. Alright, without wasting any time, my first and very first unboxing and review, George Harrison's All Things Must Pass. Alright, I've never done an unboxing and review video. This is my first one. I know this is a drum channel, so I'm going to be talking about this a little bit from a drummer's perspective. But, I'm just taking a little break from doing a drum lesson, and we do that on this channel from time to time because, look, if you're a musician, a well-rounded person, there's more to life than just that. And to be honest with you, the real truth is I just didn't have anything necessarily that I wanted to show you, and I have to have something in my heart that I wanted to show you, and I didn't have anything this week. I have a couple ideas in my head, but they're not fleshed out yet. So this is George Harrison's All Things Must Pass Anniversary Edition, 50th Anniversary Edition, which I just picked up actually about 3-4 weeks ago. And I got it for $50. Now, if you're looking on eBay, this is not a new version, this is a used version, but as you can see by looking at the cover, it is in fairly mint condition. Fairly mint. You got a little line here of where it opens up where the albums sit in it, but that's not bad. That's just a little bit of wear. But you can see there's no blemishes, there's no ripping, there's no anything, there's no dirt. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. I do have a couple of criticisms on the album, but I do think this is George Harrison's masterpiece. And to be totally honest, I like George Harrison. There are tunes throughout his career that I have enjoyed and I have liked, but I have never heard an album in completion that I really like as much as this. This is his masterpiece. So this comes with a booklet. By the way, I'm doing this part first. I'm going to do a little bit of an intro from my chair. This should be a short video, and I'll do that next. So hopefully I won't repeat myself. This is a little booklet of All Things Must Pass, and it's just got some words here. I'll just read the first bit. Even before I started, I knew I was going to make a good album because I had so many songs and I had so much energy. George was writing for 10 years with the Beatles. And still on Spotify right now, the Beatles song with the most plays is Here Comes the Sun, which is George Harrison. So he became a great writer, and one of the reasons he had such animosity while he was in the Beatles, although he did really love these guys, but he had a lot of angst because he got 1 or 2 tunes an album. And he had just a ton of songs he was writing. So if you watch Get Back, you'll see him talk about All Things Must Pass and My Sweet Lord and all these things. This is the poster. I'm not going to open this up for you. It's just a poster of George. It's okay. I like that I got this. I'm a little too old. I'm 63 years old. I'm not going to put this on my wall or anything. I do like the booklet. It's mostly pictures, except for that little blurb. Let's get my criticisms right off the bat. By the way, each disc, there are 5 discs in here. To be honest with you, this is a 3-disc set with 2 extra discs. We could have just done with 3 discs, and even less. I'll tell you about that in a second. I'm not denigrating the actual tunes. So each disc here, we have the original sleeve, which I think is great. Remember, I paid $50 for this. The original sleeve. This is fantastic. With the tunes on them. I love this. And the lyrics. I love this. And then we have a white sleeve with, what is the polyurethane thing in there? The little, I forget what that's called. But the protective sleeve here, that's wonderful. So each disc has that. Remember, so you have, and the all thing goes past album, you have 2 discs, 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3, sides 1, 2, 3, and 4, with the actual songs on it. And then you have a 3rd disc, which is a jam. And I'll get to the jam in a second. One of my criticisms in the liner notes, and I thought it would be on these, but it's not even on these. You know, is the lyrics on here, but what we don't have is, from the drummer's perspective, is who actually played drums on what. What he does have is, in the booklet and on the box, these are the musicians that helped me make this album. That's what it said. And as drummers are listed, we have Ringo Starr, Jim Keltner, Jim Gordon, who was an amazing drummer at the time. He played a lot with Eric Clapton. And we have Ginger Baker. But who played what song? I don't know. You know, luckily they kind of had styles, although Keltner and Jim Gordon's style were not that far apart, a little harder to tell. Whereas there's a song called I Dig Love, which I love this tune. One of my favorite tunes. You can tell that that is Ringo. I also think that Isn't It a Pity, for sure, is Ringo. The rest of it, I'm not 100% sure. Maybe My Sweet Lord. I think I'll Have You Anytime, and I'll get to more about the tunes in a minute, is Ringo. But I'm not sure. I Dig Love, I'm sure. So you've got these 2 discs, which have the tunes on it. And let's talk a little bit about the mix. So Paul Hicks remastered this for the 50th anniversary, and he pulled out some of that Phil Spector reverby wall of sound stuff and brought out some of the guitar stuff, like in What Is Life, which is first song on side 2, brilliant song, you've heard it before, love that tune, but the guitar doubles the horn line, which I never noticed before. I had this album in the 70s when it first came out, and I don't know what happened to that. That's long gone. And now I have this, the 50th anniversary edition, and I have never heard that guitar doubling. It was like listening to the song for the first time. It was amazing. So then here's this album, this disc rather, the Apple Jam, and this basically has like 4 songs on it. It's really one long jam that they cut up. At least that's what I think it is. There's only one actual song on it. It's Johnny's Birthday. I got to tell you the truth. I listened to this album one time. This disc rather. When I bought it. I will never listen to this disc again. I'm pretty sure in the first tune or part of the jam, Ginger Baker's playing drums. It's a good guess, but I will never listen to this album again. George and Danny, his son, who, you know, George did this album originally, and this was in the original album. You didn't need this. Yeah, I'm glad you had fun in the studio jamming, but there's nothing here. It's just them, you know, wanking for 35 minutes. No reason for it. And then finally, we have 2 discs of outtakes. And I'm going to be honest with you. I listened to these 2 discs when I first got it. I will never listen to them again. For example, you can't do this, you have to go back the other way. I have always had a thing against outtakes discs. I mean, if George wanted them in here, he would have put them in here. Like, there's 2 other versions of Isn't It a Pity? And after you listen to them, you go, yeah, I know why George didn't put them in this album, because they're boring. He does it at a faster tempo. He's not taking his time with the vocals. The drums sound a lot colder. I don't like the mix on the drums. I could see why George did not pick that. So it's like you're going against his wishes by putting that in here. George did not want us to hear that. He heard it in the 70s and thought, no, let's use the version that he put in. So I have always had a problem with that. Again, I listen to them. I will never listen to them again. Let's just talk about a few of the tunes that stand out to me on this that you probably know of, and then we'll close it up. All right, a couple of the tunes on here that are just sensational. Not only in the mix, but just, look, as I said before, George had been writing songs for 10 years, and he became a great writer. Now, I did like various tunes he came out with over the years. I Got My Mind Set on You was one of them. The one he wrote, Fab Four, I like that one. But not all those tunes grabbed me, but this album was 10 years in the making. And again, we're not talking about the jam, and I'm not talking about the outtakes, but those 2 discs of recordings they are almost 100% all gems. But, like, isn't it a pity? I'm not a super emotional guy, but I listened to this, and I had not listened to that song on the vinyl in, I don't know, maybe 25 years. And I had tears in my eyes, guys. I had tears in my eyes. It is beautiful. The mix is beautiful. The words are beautiful. And because I was a kid, I didn't think of it then. You hear those lyrics, and I believe he was talking to his bandmates in what he was going through. It is a beautiful, beautiful song. Of course, there's My Sweet Lord, which I like. I'm not in love with that one. I Dig Love it's great because a large part of the melody is Ringo's tom-tom stuff, which is so Ringo. That's why I think it's Ringo. Brilliant tune. What I remember from the 70s about it was you lost some of those tom-tom things with all the reverb. They pulled some of that down. What Is Life? We mentioned that. That sounds better. The very first tune is with the drummer plays brushes on it. You can hear them a little more clear on this album than in the original one. It's I'd Have You Anytime, the very first tune. Beautiful. Beautiful song, beautiful rendition of it. Love it very much. One of my favorite songs of this album is Run of the Mill. What I like about it is the odd meters that are in it, because they didn't, George didn't write odd meters like with a, an abacus and a calculator. It's actually, I believe, in like 13. I could be wrong about that. It might be 11. Very cool groove. You don't even notice the odd meters. It's played so well. If I were to guess, it's either Jim Keltner or Jim Gordon. Probably not Ringo. He didn't like odd meters, and he didn't do them that well. Brilliant song. I liked it back then, and I liked it more now. Hear Me Lord, another great tune, and The Art of Dying. Oh my goodness, I think they brought the guitars out a little more, gave them a little more beef to them. Just brilliant tune. And off this album with the remix, I absolutely loved it. I couldn't play it loud enough. Could not play it loud enough. So if you go on eBay, you can find this 50th anniversary, even pre-owned. Now, I got lucky. I paid $50 for it. I went to a store that I go to all the time, Dearborn Music. I love those guys. I'm in there once a month, maybe twice a month. Matter of fact, I'm going there today. I can spend anywhere there from $8 of the visit to $108. Depends what kind of money I got. And I got this pre-owned. I did negotiate a little bit for $50. On eBay, you can find this for $150. But I'm going to be honest with you. With those 3 discs in here that I'm never going to listen to again, I wouldn't pay $150 for it. I love the album. I think it's George's masterpiece, but I wouldn't pay $150 for it. I would pay $75. If you can find this on eBay, even pre-owned, for $75, it's definitely worth it. It's worth it. If you can find an original pressing in good shape, with just the 3 discs, that would be worth it. That would be a $50 spend. I did get a great deal on this. So if you don't own any George Harrison, this is the one to get. It is his masterpiece. All right, guys. Next week, I will be back on the kit. I'm not sure what we're going to talk about, but I'll find something. Something always hits me, and then I show it to you. Okay, I got to have passion when I do it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, put it in the comments that you like this, the way I'm doing this, and I'll do some more of these because I kind of enjoy doing it. All right, see you on the next one, guys.